start of your clay court season. Obviously, didn't go too well in Monte Carlo. What have you been doing since? Anything you've been working on particularly?
I stayed in Monte Carlo for about a week after I lost and practiced. I practiced there. I practiced with Silic a bit, and Dolgopolov was there. I played a lot of sets with them, and then I went home, took a couple of days off, and I got here very early. So I got here on Wednesday evening. So hopefully we'll have had 5 or 6 days on the courts before I get started here, and just a lot of sets, just getting used to playing on the clay again and getting used to the movements.
The fact that the big four are here only the second time this year, does that add a certain edge to this tournament?
I don't know. I think the media make a bigger deal of it than the players do. Regardless of who's there, we try and win the events. Obviously, when everyone is here, all the top players, it's obviously harder to win, but the goal is still the same, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top this week.
So the big four are here. Indian Wells was the only time this year. Do you think that men's tennis has ever had a sort of strong four like it has? All four winning the Grand Slams last year and that kind of thing.
I think in most eras there's always been guys that have been around the top of the game for a long time. I know around my coach's time, Ivan Lendel's time, there was him, McEnroe, and Connors were around the top of the game for a long time. Sampras, Agassi, were probably the main two in their time, but there was also Jim Courier, won numerous slams as well. I just think the depth of the game just now is extremely high. It's been tough to stick around, at the top few spots in the rankings for a long time, and I'm happy I'm still there, and I'll keep working to get better.
Yeah, the fact those three guys are there, a lot of people have said you're unfortunate because you might have won more Grand Slams, but for you, do you see it just a privilege to be amongst those other three guys?
Yeah, I think for everyone it's been a great challenge, really. If you look, for example, Novak, he after he won his first Grand Slam, it took him maybe 3-4 years before he won his second one. He obviously made a huge improvement in that period, and went on to have one of the best years we've ever seen in tennis. It's definitely helped me improve as well, being around those players and playing against them in big matches. And played Roger close to 20 times, Novak the same, Rafa the same. I played him maybe 18, 19 times as well. So I've obviously learnt a lot from playing against those players, and it's made me better.
Obviously, you've got like Roger Federer. He's been written off so many times. He comes back and wins a slam. Rafa, people were writing him off with his injury, and then he comes back and wins Indian Wells. The longevity of these guys is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's been most surprising for people, is how consistent the top few players have been, considering how great the depth is. And Roger's obviously been at the top of the game since he was about 21, 22 years old. It's about 10 years. Rafa the same. When he was 17, he was, I think, finished the year number 2 in the world, 17 or 18, and it's now nine years later, and he's still right at the top. And me and Novak have been there, I think, for 5 years maybe now. So it's been good. It's been a challenge, and I'll try and stay there as long as I can.
And finally, is there any of the younger guys you see maybe kind of in a couple of years' time doing what you and Novak have done and breaking into the top 4?
I think there always comes a time for that in all sports. I mean, I hope it happens, when I'm 32, 33 years old, so I've got a few more years left. But, games changing all the time. You never know when, a talent like Roger, comes along. That can happen any time. You don't necessarily see it coming. The guys that are around just now have made big improvements over the last couple of years. Raonic and Tomic and Dimitrov. They're getting better all the time. And yeah, I'm sure at some stage, one or two of them or three of them will break into the top few spots in the ranking, and I just hope I hope I can stay there.